Welcome back, everybody. Just Mike here today. Joe needs a break from his busy schedule today, so I am going to be taking his place in just the NBA. So yeah, let's just get right to it. I wish Joe was here because I do kind of wish we got to discuss this a little bit because me and him had a little banter last night. I was trying to explain something to him that I don't think was getting across. But without further ado, let's just get to the game first. So Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Boston Celtics 118 to 94. Couple key takeaways from the game. Donovan Mitchell with 29, 7, and 8. Evan Mobley had himself a game. What, 20, what do you have? 21 and 9, I think, or 21 and 10, 21 and 10, and also 5 assists. Shout out to Evan Mobley. Caris LeVert. I feel like I haven't heard Caris LeVert's name in a long time, but I mean, shout out to you, man. 21 points. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, just to put it, just okay. Cavaliers, 54%. Don't mind me. I'm baffled still looking at all these stats. Cavaliers shot 54% from the field, 46% from three. Which is weird because it's not like that's good, but like we've seen a lot better. Like it's just a little odd, but then we scroll down here to the Celtics stats. God, the plus minuses are disgusting. Jason Tatum had 25 points, but it was an ugly 25 points. I know that was the one thing me and Joe kind of wanted to both see was Tatum like finally break out and attack more. And I think he kind of was trying to do that, but the Cavs just had an answer for him, man. You know, so yeah, he had 25 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Jaylen Brown, 19 points, 4 rebounds, only 1 assist. I mean, I know he doesn't get a lot of assists, but Al Horford chipped in with 11 points, Derek White 10. Drew Holiday had a really, really bad game, 4 points, but just on the defensive end too, he really lacked. Pritchard came in at 13, but the rest of our bench was terrible. With about 5 minutes left in the game, Joe Mazzulla took out all the starters and basically played the bench players the rest of the way. So any points that those guys got was basically just in garbage minutes. But I don't know. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Maybe I'm not. Thank you. So the game started out somewhat fine. I think it was, I don't know if it was tied at halftime or it was close, I know. I was watching it. And then the third quarter, I felt like it kind of really started to slip away. And then the fourth quarter was just an abomination, point blank. I do want to get into something me and Joe talked about. Joe had asked me during the game, he was like, because obviously I was very confident they were going to win last night. They were literally double-digit favors. I think their money line was like minus 900. But anyways, one of the things that Joe said to me was, "Oh, like, do you still think that they can come back?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Still?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then he was getting a little frustrated with me because he felt like I was like, I think he felt like I was insinuating that we weren't playing that bad, and we were playing bad. But in the NBA, because at this point it was a 12-point game. In today's NBA, I should say, that's like that's not a tough deficit to come back from. It's just not like that. That's 12 points is 4 threes, So that's kind of what I meant. But I don't think we played a great game. However, I do think that the bigger story still here is how good the Cavs played, man. I mean, trust Strus specifically on defense. He defended Tatum very well. Um, Drew Holiday, he played bad, yes, but I don't know. I just felt like the Cavs, they played a very complete game that like even if we played to our apex, I don't think we would have won this game. Um, Seeing a lot of banter online now, like about the Celtics. And what I'll say is this doesn't trouble me any more than I've already been troubled about this team. I think that this team plays to their competition at times. But not only do I think that, I do still think that we're going to get to the conference finals easily. We're going to get to the finals somewhat easily. Like we're pretty much going to cakewalk this entire thing, in my opinion. And tonight, even if we would have won by 30 or lost by 30, I have the same opinion, which is like, I think we're in major trouble when we get to the finals. And they haven't shown me anything different. So, I don't know. I just kind of, this team has a weird feeling. I think I mentioned this too, like with Tatum specifically. I think that Tatum is. I had more trust in Tatum 2 years ago in the playoffs than I do now because because his last good playoff series was against the Sixers last year in the second round. And even in that, there was still some games and some big moments where you were like, he stepped up, but then there was other moments where you were just like, yeah, something seems a little off. And then obviously that Heat series, nobody really played great, but he didn't play great either. He didn't play great last round, and the first two games of this round, he hasn't played great. So it's been a little bit since we've seen him like really, really perform in the playoffs. So that worries me heavily, but it doesn't worry me any less than I would have been worried if we would have won last night. Like these things all still existed before. So I don't know what I'm starting to think I do know what the answer is a little bit, and it's gonna sound weird because I have praised him on this podcast, and I still think he deserves to be praised for doing the job that he did when he came in. But I think if we still have Ime Udoka, I really think we're in a different situation right now. I think last year we would have made the finals. I think this year we would look like a complete like juggernaut team, and we wouldn't be having these blunders. Because like I look at sometimes it looks like they don't even know what they're running out there. And that's when the Celtics are at their worst. When we're just kind of just playing whatever. And the Cavs, they know that too, specifically with Brown. They know that if you just kind of let Brown go, sometimes it's gonna be a nightmare. And that's what happened last night. So it just kind of seems like the Cavs exposed the weaknesses that we already know we have. So that being said, I still think a gentleman's sweep is very much in the realm of possibilities. I don't know. I mean, we saw the Celtics beat the Cavs the other night, and the Celtics still didn't look the greatest. So the Celtics don't have to look great to win this series. That's just a fact. And I don't know how Joe feels. I would imagine that I still believe that Joe thinks we're going to win this series. However, I think Joe might be a little bit more. I don't want to say hitting the panic button, but a little more like probably taking the Cavs a little more serious than I am, and that's fair. I get it. But just judging off of my years of watching the NBA playoffs, you're not going to play great every game. And I will say the one thing, like the difference between this game 2 and the Heat game 2 was we didn't show up against the Heat, and we let them get anything they wanted to, any open look. And we just simply it looked like we didn't want to be there. This time around, it just seemed like the Cavs were just on. It was just the Cavs night tonight. No matter who they were playing. I truly believe that it was the Cavs night regardless. It could have been the 97 Bulls out there. All right, maybe I'm exaggerating, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. See if there's really anything else here that like I need to like indulge on here. Derek White was bad too. Yeah, that's right. He shot 3 for 11. 22% from 3. There you have. Oh, another fun fact too, which I just overheard in a podcast this morning. I'll text this to Joe. But the Celtics are 14-17 in their last 31 games at home. That's kind of crazy because you would think it's supposed to be a you would think it's supposed to be home court advantage, right? Especially for TD Garden. But I think this just speaks to like A, the pressure that the Celtics have on them, and B, them playing to their level of competition that they're playing. So with that being said, it doesn't worry me for this series. It doesn't make me any more worried than I already was about what's to come down the road. So, and we're still waiting on Porzingis to come back. So if you're a Celtic fan, I get it, but just pump the brakes, relax. We're okay. All good for now. For now, at least. But now to get on to the next game of the night and the final one, we got the Dallas Mavericks who beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 119-110. And another statistic that we didn't know when we were filming the other day, and I wish we would have known, was that since Jason Kidd has been head coach for the Mavericks, they haven't won a game one. So probably should have, there's something there, LeBron was famous for not winning game ones because he would just use it as kind of like a strategy thing to just kind of see, okay, how is his team going to maneuver throughout this series? He wouldn't lose on purpose, but that's what would end up happening because he was just more so watching just the other team and not really focusing on what he has to do. But anyways, enough about LeBron. For the Dallas Mavericks, Luka finally saw kind of a little bit what we wanted to see. 29-7-10. Looks like his knee is all better. I don't know where he went or what shot he took to get that or what painkillers he's on or whatever, but that's cool. Something I wanted to point out though was Kyrie. He had 9 points, right? 9 points, 11 assists. But I still feel like Kyrie played a good game. Not a great game, but I still feel like he was impactful on the court and he needed to be there. Just maybe not scoring wise, let me see if there's any. PJ Washington, I almost forgot. Yep, 29 points, 7 threes. Very impactful. Daniel Gafford, 13. Josh Green, 11 points. Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr., man, very underrated just career. I feel like he's had a lot of moments where he's capable of this at times. He really is. Maybe not on a consistent basis, but he'll give it to you. As far as percentage wise, they shot 46% from the field, 48% from three. It's funny actually; they shot better from three than two. I think that's pretty cool. That just that's the NBA for you today. And on the Thunder front, you had 33, 8 and 12 from Shea. 12 rebounds, crazy. Jalen Williams gave you 20. But that was really the brunt of it. Chet really didn't have a great game. And when Chet has a bad game, he has a bad game. So yeah, they shot 47% from the field, 33% from three. Last night kind of just showed to me, I believe at least, that the Mavericks are a better team. They just might be a little more inconsistent, which might contradict itself. But I guess what I'm trying to say is Dallas at their peak is better than Oklahoma City at their peak. I'm not going to say they're miles better, but they're significantly better, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody caught the post-game interview with Luka, but I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I really think that I think this is only going to be a series because of the inconsistency within Dallas. I said all season that I still think Oklahoma City, they're a young team. I think in the next 2 to 3 years, they're going to be real title contenders, but I just don't view them as that right now. I think that Dallas is more of that than they are at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of how I expected it to go. And now, Dallas stole one on the road, and now they got 2 home games. So we'll see how. I think this is where we'll see the youngness start to take effect. gonna be hard for a young team to come into Dallas and get a win. And if they don't, all of a sudden it's 2-1, 3-1, then from there, who knows? But yeah, I mean, I don't have too much more to add. I mean, I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a really good game, but I don't know. Like I just don't have too much to add on that. But yeah. So again, those series are both tied. If I'm the Celtics, I don't panic. If I'm a Thunder fan, I do kind of panic because I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. This it's just it don't sound good. Let's see. What do we got tonight? We got the Knicks Pacers at 7, and then we got the Nuggets Timberwolves at 9:30. Finally, the Nuggets and Timberwolves play. I'm gonna make a prediction. I think that the Pacers win, and I think the Nuggets win. I mean, I like part of me does want to take the Timberwolves just because if you watch them play, like they've appeared to be the better team over those last two games. But I mean, you would just have I just and I said this, I found it hard to believe that the Nuggets would go down 1-0, then 2-0. So now I'm like, they can't go down 3-0, right? But I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, that's it for me. Um, it's tomorrow, Saturday. I don't know who's gonna be doing this tomorrow. Hopefully it's me and Joe. If not, it'll be one of us. I wish Joe was here to talk about some of this today, to debate with him, but it's all good. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Got some more stuff coming up soon, but right now it's all eyes on the NBA and the NHL. Joe's doing a great job covering both of those right now. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one.